Kalsoom, Lakhani. I'm the founder and CEO of Invest to Innovate, or I2I. And I really strongly believe that young entrepreneurs or young social innovators have the power to change the world. And before I talk about why that is, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that story, because it starts with me as an entrepreneur. Everything kind of starts with your own story. Despite my American accent, I was actually born in Dubai. I was raised by a Bangladeshi mother, a Pakistani father, and I was raised in international schools growing up in Bangladesh and then in Pakistan. So I was kind of this weird anomaly that people meet when they're here. I'm a pop culture references as a third culture kid, and I'm what my cousin lovingly calls, or she called, Lisa Simpson when I was a kid. Not because I was wearing pearls all the time or because I played the saxophone, but because I was always about a cause. I was someone that was kind of deeply precocious as a kid, which I'm sure pretty much everyone in this room is, just being here. But as also someone who was just really very much an activist, even when I was really young, and someone who was deeply aware about the world around me. I was someone who traveled a lot. I was really blessed to have the kind of lifestyle that I did. And that really meant everything from, as an activist, like stopping my mother from wearing her fur coat. She still calls me her hippie daughter as a result. To the fact that, when I was a kid and growing up in Pakistan, trying to educate my peers about the 1971 war atrocities that happened against Bangladesh, my mother's country, when I was a kid. That wasn't taught in school. In 2008, I felt a very strong commitment. By the way, my most formative years were in Pakistan before I moved here for college when I was 18. In 2008, I started a blog called Chup. For anyone who knows Urdu or Hindi, it means shush in Urdu. And it also stood for Changing Up Pakistan, which was aiming to provide a more nuanced perspective of Pakistan in the news media. This is when Pakistan still is today, but at the time we were the front cover of Newsweek for being the most dangerous place in the world. Everything that you see, which continues to be today, was everything about bombings and political instability and the violence, but nothing about the amazing change makers on the ground, nothing about the amazing stories that you couldn't see in the mainstream media. So my blog became pretty well known. I was writing for a bunch of different publications as a result, but I was really trying to tell these stories about these young change makers. And as a result, I was meeting a lot of young entrepreneurs through my day job as well as through this blog show, that had these amazing ideas but couldn't get the resources or the capital to start. And that really got to me, because as someone who was the daughter of an entrepreneur, I grew up in a very entrepreneurial family, and as someone who was reading everything that was going on in Silicon Valley, I was really interested in why startup communities existed and thrived in some countries and not others. Why did it exist in some cities and not others? And Pakistan, if you ever go, which, if you do go, let me know, it's an amazing place, is such an entrepreneurial place. And I think because of the challenges, it's even more entrepreneurial. But it doesn't have the mentorship, it doesn't have the ecosystem, the community to really support it. And so when we launched Invest to Innovate, it was to really address that question, not just in Pakistan, but in a lot of new markets that exist around the world that are more frontier than emerging, that are conflict affected. It was how do we actually support young entrepreneurs to get the resources and the capital they need to get to grow their businesses, to get their ideas to the next place, and how do we connect them to amazing investors, to amazing mentors? How do we actually help support and build these startup communities in kind of unexpected places? So we launched in Pakistan in 2011. I2I has been operating in Pakistan for almost 2 years now, and what we do is we identify early stage startups. So young entrepreneurs, we work with a lot of universities, social innovation funds. We work with corporations potentially like Google. We work potentially, I'm saying potentially because we're about to close in on stuff with Coca-Cola. And what we want to do is we put them through a program called the I2I Accelerator, which is a 4-month intensive program that gets their businesses ready for investment. It helps them grow. And what we're doing is we've built a very strong local mentor network of amazing entrepreneurs in Pakistan that just want to give their time to young startups, to support them and can provide really nuanced understanding of the environment in Pakistan. They know how to build a business there, and they can really be positive role models to support this growth. And what we do at the end of this program is we connect them to seed investment through I2I Angels, which is our angel investor community of local Pakistani investors. They're very successful entrepreneurs that want to invest back in young entrepreneurs. They don't know who to invest in. We do the work of finding them, getting them ready. A lot of young entrepreneurs on the other side want to get investment. They don't know who to trust. They don't know who's going to steal their ideas. So we do the work as that intermediary. We also have a very strong advisory role where we really work on supporting entrepreneurship education. We do work with innovation funds and look at how to actually design curriculum to build out 2-day incubators, things like that. And so what I'm here to ask you today, since we're back now at the pitch, is number one is that we've been working in Pakistan for about 2 years. Our goal is to work in new markets. So we're a global brand, we're a global company. I split my time between here and Pakistan, and we have a Pakistan team out there right now. And we really want to work in Tunisia or MENA, Cambodia, Myanmar, places that are kind of unexpected places that you would think to find a startup community. So ideas on that would be really amazing. People that you know that are already working on that would be really cool to hear about. The other thing is if you have experiences in your own lives of how to grow a hustling startup, which we are ourselves. We're a hustling startup that works with hustling startups. And as you know, like I travel all the time and I'm sleeping on couches and kind of doing that lifestyle. That transition from being a hustling startup to a big, credible company, which is what we want to be, and I know we can be. But any advice and support to get there would be amazing. So thank you guys so much.